The Patriots were a charismatic group of politicians and poets. They counted both Whigs and Tories among their number. They were the original Eurosceptics. The Patriots believed Britain should go it alone, ignore continental disputes, build a strong navy, and gain more colonies in America and round the world. This was the way, they argued, for Britain to secure international dominance. Now, this lot needed a leader, and they settled upon the king's eldest son, Prince Frederick, who by this point had become something of a professional activist. George II had always considered his eldest son, Frederick, to be the black sheep of the family. As people said, it ran in the blood of these Georgian monarchs to hate their eldest son. George II and Frederick had always had their petty feuds and squabbles, but now the king was really worried. Frederick was gaining political momentum. In 1740, Frederick was the inspiration for a new song that was to be the theme tune for these rebellious patriots.
Ready?
It was so scandalous that it had to be performed privately. So you might be surprised to learn that you know it already. Today, people sing Rule Britannia on the last night of the proms as a cheery celebration of Britishness. But this song was in fact an open revolt against King George II, as I suggested to the historian Dr. Oliver Cox.
I mean, when it's first performed, it's a royal revolt. It's a song for a prince against his father and against his father's prime minister. Rule Britannia, as we sing it now, is Rule Britannia, Britannia rules the waves. It's a statement of present fact. When it's first performed in 1740, it's rule the waves. It's a command. It's an expectation that if we follow the Patriots' policies, Britain will rule the waves.
The song goes on and on and on about this concept of liberty. What does that mean in the 18th century?
One of the problems with the 1730s, as far as the Patriots are concerned, is the liberty to choose their own representatives in Parliament, the liberty to be protected from external invaders, the liberty to trade as they want to, is threatened and endangered. And what the Patriots thought needed to happen was an emphasis on English liberty, the navy, and trade. You've got these three important tenets that really bind everything that they say together.
Frederick obviously is born and grows up in Hanover. He's the family's main representative there for the first part of his life. But then later on he becomes awfully English, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sort of rebrands himself. And whether it's a clever piece of sort of opportunistic politicking in the sense that by acting far more English, he's able to bring in a sort of disparate group of the disaffected politicians and poets who may one day be able to help him conceive of a coherent sort of opposition policy to his father.
Does he do all this then just to annoy his dad?
I think a lot of the difficulties and the issues that we see throughout the 1730s and 1740s is Frederick, sticking his middle finger up at his dad.